All right, welcome everybody. So I'm Pete Novojoski, I'm the manager of Fairgate Farm. This is going to be our second class in our little series on plant-based cooking. Last week, we had a great class with more savory foods. Today, we are doing a special plant-based sweets class, just in time for Valentine's Day. Some great recipes, and I'm told very easy recipes that anybody could do, so definitely check them out. So without further ado, I'm going to pass this on to our great plant-based chefs, eaters, life livers. They definitely live this. So Joy and Bart and Maddie.
Where would you like the laptop?
I'm actually gonna ask
Okay. Just
everybody
be real
to
careful. You
mute.
don't want to splash it.
One second here.
Hi, fam.
We see the Potenza household.
Hi.
Hey, Jamie. Hey, Pop.
All right.
So yeah, if anybody, if you could just mute during the class, just to kind of get rid of background noise, we appreciate it. The chat box is open. Any questions, we'll also post some links and things there too. So definitely take a look at that. And we'll do questions and answers at the end as well. But let's get started. We have a lot of cooking to do. So Joy, Bart, you want to kick it off?
Yes, welcome
All right,
everybody.
everybody. Welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. It is Saturday, February 13th, and we're here with an amazing event for you. Remember last week we had several people appear, and if you're with us from last week, please let us know how you made out with those recipes. You can send that to the comment section on Peter's website. We'd love to get some feedback on that. Now remember, last
On the
Saturday,
Zoom chat.
yes.
On the
Yeah,
Zoom chat.
Zoom chat.
Yeah.
I'm a little techie guy, but I'm getting it. Last Saturday, we did Super Bowl Saturday in honor of Super Bowl Sunday, if you remember. And this week, we're doing Sweet Saturday in honor of Valentine's Day. There's a lot going on with this type of food. As you may know, talking about Super Bowl, Mr. Brady apparently eats what we call plant-based, which this is all about today. We'll check on that when we get a chance, but it seems like he won a good game. And I have a feeling he ate some of our food that day. I also want to acknowledge Peter from Fairgate Farm. He, along with our dear Maddie Sobel, who will be doing a recipe with us later. And we cannot leave out dear Mimi Clark, our dear friend from Fairfax Station, Virginia. Mimi's been a major chef and cook and teacher of the vegan movement for so many years I can hardly count. And later on, we're going to have our dear friend, Fran Castigan, a recipe that Joy's going to do from her famous dessert book. She's like the queen of desserts in the vegan movement. So we're here for you. Save your questions. We'll handle that at the end of the session. And stay tuned because you're going to see some exciting food. Take it on, Joy.
Thank you. Welcome everybody. Thank you everybody for being here. It's a real honor to be able to teach and to be with you today. One of the things that we'd like you to either cook along with us, or you could grab the recipes. And if you go on fairgatefarm.com/on-the-farm, you can hit the link there underneath the class and you could get all the recipes to follow along. So we look forward to having you cook along with us. We're going to do some wonderful recipes. Again, it's Chinese New Year. It's Joel's birthday. It's Valentine's Day. We got a lot to celebrate, and sweets make it a sweet new year.
It's a love fest, honey. It's a love fest.
Okay. Oh, Joel, I hear you.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Oh, I forgot I was on.
By the way. Yes.
This is sweets for our sweets. So first, our first recipe is going to be a pumpkin ice cream with a chocolate hard sauce. So, and also one thing I need you all to remember, it's a pandemic. So if you don't have some of these ingredients, let's do makeshift.
Exactly.
If you want to, we're going to teach you some kitchen hacks today, some things that you could use if you don't have what you think you need.
Work with
So
what you have.
Don't be intimidated.
Yeah.
Use your inner chef and have a good time no matter what. It's
Bravo.
Joel's birthday. You got to have a good time.
Bravo.
Okay, so the first recipe is going to be pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin pie. So Bart's going to pick up the blender. What we did was, it's pumpkin pie ice cream, but I love the flavors of pumpkin pie.
We're very captivated by pumpkins today, as you can tell.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to put all your ingredients in a blender. And again, you're going to be mise en placing, and mise en place means putting everything in place so you make your process easier. First thing we're going to do is we're going to put a can of full fat coconut milk in. And again, full fat coconut milk. What do we got here? We got some full fat coconut milk. This is also from Edward and Sons. So we have coconut milk. We put it in our blender. We have
Let me shake that up and then get.
we
it.
have 1 cup of pureed pumpkin, and I'll show you what that looks like. We got the pureed pumpkin. So you're going to put a cup of pureed pumpkin, a can of coconut milk, a half a cup of a non-dairy milk, and we suggest you use oat milk, coconut milk, or soy milk, anything. Usually rice milk is a little too thin.
Yeah.
So just add a half a cup. We used oat milk
Okay.
today. And we put oat milk, half a cup of maple syrup, and then ground cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. And what I did was I have the privilege
This
of
is
having
amazing.
Frontier pumpkin pie spice. And it is a mixture of all those things. So we use 2.5, 2.25 teaspoons of this into here. So instead of making a lot of noise, which we know how to do in a kitchen,
Yes.
for equipment ready,
We
we
made a
have-
batch.
we made a batch. So you should just blend it all up, use a silicone spatula to push down the sides. Now we're gonna take this.
Ready for the garnish.
And if you don't have pumpkin and you want to use, I know Maddie, you're very big at this
What?
because we work with fat free. We can make an ice cream out of frozen bananas. You can even put peanut butter and chocolate cocoa powder in it, and you have a wonderful dessert.
And
So it's just try to use what we have. If you have bananas, you don't have a pumpkin, you want to make a non-dairy ice cream, and also you can buy wonderful non-dairy ice creams. So now that we've blended this up here, oh wait, first let's talk about pumpkin.
Yes, indeed.
So we used a canned pumpkin, but please feel free to use a fresh pumpkin. And Peter, what do you think the best pumpkin on the farm would be for this kind of recipe?
Any sugar pumpkin. You can look online, there's lists of different varieties that are grown specifically. Generally, you're not going to use your jack-o'-lantern type pumpkin because they're going to be more fibrous and watery. So look at sugar pumpkins, but you could use anything you have.
And that's great. And then also remember that pumpkins is a storage item. So they do last a long time and they're wonderful to have around so you can store them. They're winter storage vegetables, which is what this class is all about.
Yeah. In a cold, hardy winter like this, it's good to have some pumpkins and squash in the house, believe me.
Now, if you want to put bananas in the freezer now because you want to make this later, we use the stash bags, which are not one-use plastics, because again, our cooking is about sustainability, not wasting, and being very environmentally conscious. So we took a stash bag, we cut up some bananas, and remember, when you look at a banana, it should have some spots, some dark spots on it. That is where the starch turns into the sugar, and that will make a very sweet
Right.
banana pop is what we're going to make with them today. Also, we can slice it down the middle, and today you can make banana splits because I'm going to teach you how to turn your hard shell into
Making
a
me hungry.
chocolate sauce. So now that we've had you whip up your ingredients, we're actually going to pour this onto this tray that I have lined with parchment.
Like James Brown said, shaking, not.
Now, remember that this could be done between 30 minutes or 3 hours. We're gonna actually pour this on here. So we mixed it well. We're gonna pour it in one thin layer.
I'm a good pourer.
And actually, one of the great things about being a chef is that you should really taste at every level. So Bart's gonna taste a little bit of that, but can you see how this is just one thin layer on here? I'm gonna go plop that in the freezer.
I'm the great taster today, by the way. Joy, you're doing great. You're making it all so comfortable and
So
tasty.
that's how easy it is. That's gonna go down to the freezer. I brought it back up, I blended it, and it turns into a soft serve. You can have it that way. You can blend it many times, keep blending it, putting it back in the freezer. This recipe makes a quart of ice cream. I made a pint of ice cream. You noticed I've been in it because see the marks. The ice cream is there. And then I took my scoop and I made some ice cream here. This is just, we're going to
Right.
dress this up when we get later on, but this is now naked ice cream balls.
It's hard not to eat the samples, by the way. It's very tempting.
And this is that I enrobed it in chocolate. So now you have your ice cream in this way, and then you can ball it up. You can put it on a tray in the freezer, and that is also another way that you can maintain your ice cream. This is really delicious. And if you taste it, you feel like you're eating a pumpkin pie. I also did something really funny. I took the mixture that you see in the blender now, and I put some flour in it, and I made a pumpkin cake out of it. There's so many ways that you can use your inner chef to create, but it is so much fun to have pumpkin ice cream. Now, after you've made this, you can then put this back in the freezer, because now we're going to let Maddie make her delicious sweet potato mousse. Maddie, take it away, girl.
All righty, that is
Valentine
so
loves.
good. It's just killing me that I can't reach in and grab.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you for inviting me to participate in this class. You probably all have the recipe for the chocolate mousse. This is, very similar in process to what Joy and Bart did, which is just sort of making a case for the magic of some of the kitchen equipment that's available these days. So my recipe is making a chocolate mousse using root vegetables, which we talked about. And the whole purpose of this is to utilize things that grow on the farm as opposed to buying packaged and prepared foods. So in this recipe, the first thing that's called for is a sweet potato or a yam. So I'll just differentiate here. We really associate sweet potatoes with those orange ones that we have at Thanksgiving, which are fabulous, and many things can be done with them. But now, if you notice in the market, there is such a variety of sweet potatoes. There's Jersey sweet potatoes, there's Hannah yams, there's Oriental sweet potatoes, garnet, jewel, so many different varieties. This one is a Hannah yam. I happen to have gotten it at Whole Foods, and frankly, it's the only store that I find that actually has identified Hannah yams. But I cut it so you could see. I mean, this is the original size, but this is the color of the skin on the outside. It's that very pretty light tan. And the inside is this wonderful creamy color. And the thing about this is sweet and it's dense as opposed to the orange ones that are watery and really flavorful, almost like in a caramel way, which just identifies it a little bit differently. And they all sort of have a different flavor profile, but that's why this one is so adaptable to this recipe. So what I've done is I baked this sweet potato, this yam, for about 40 minutes in an oven at 400. So it's soft enough. And you can identify that by putting something on the inside. If it goes all the way through softly and it's soft and it gives, then it's done. And we're going to use a high-speed blender for this. If you don't have a high-speed, a regular blender works because you're not really processing anything that's so tough that it can't be processed in a regular blender. High-speed just makes it easier. I've pre-cut this into pieces because it'll just make the blending a little bit easier and quicker. And in this recipe, you could see we're using a little bit of cinnamon, some vanilla, and everything goes in this one. Some maple syrup, hence the name sweet potato maple mousse. And so I'll tell you a little bit about the coconut milk in the recipe. So this is the brand that I like to buy. And when you buy coconut milk, very often the fat separates from the rest of the milk. And so you can open a can and find that it's all chunky, which I did in this case. So what I did is I poured it all into a large measuring cup, put it in the microwave. Sorry for the use of microwave, but it was the only way I could break it down. And then it blended the fat with the regular milk and I was able to process it all because you really don't want it to be all coconut fat and you don't want it to be all watery milk from the bottom. So I'm going to pour that in as well. And the other ingredient, which I'm going to put in now, is cocoa powder. So this is the cocoa powder I'm using right here. But any good brand of cocoa powder, if you can find a good fair trade, that's what I'm always seeking out. Organic fair trade, it's a great standard to shoot for if you're able to. If not, any cocoa powder will work. And then finally, medjool pitted dates. So these are medjool dates. This is the package of medjool dates. And these are the dates. So I pre-soaked these to make them just a little softer for blending. So here they are, pre-soaked, and it calls for 6. So I happen to have soaked 8 of them because what I mentioned before is that this recipe has a forgiving quality to it. If you say, oh, I want it sweeter, great. If you say I want it richer, a little bit more coconut milk might work. There are so many different ways to tweak this recipe. So those are the basic ingredients. Let me just rinse my hands real quick. And I'm just going to blend it up. Water, the last ingredient. So what I'm going to tell you now, which is what I alluded to before, is that this is fully blended. It's very thick, which could be desirable. That could be what you want in this recipe, or you might want it just a touch thinner. I'm going to go for just a little bit thinner. Just enough so that I can dish it up the way I kind of wanted to. So I'm just going to give it literally about 5 seconds. That's it. So what makes this recipe fun is it looks like something decadent. If you're really thinking of serving it to other people, and I've done that in my workplace, I serve to other people. And very often people are a little bit skeptical about something, a dessert that might be made with a sweet potato or ingredients they may not be accustomed to, especially associating chocolate mousse with this idea. But it's all about the flavors and it's all about the plating up and giving it some kind of aesthetic. So just as a suggestion, I kind of think it would be really nice if I had a martini glass, I would use that, but I don't. So I'm using a wine glass. So I'm just going to pour some in. And I'm going to top it with a topping that I've made already so you could see the finished product. And then I'm going to show you this topping. You should have the recipe. It's for aquafaba whipped topping. So that requires a bit more of an explanation. So I'm going to start by showing you the end result of what you're going to get. And then I'm going to walk you through how it's done. This is the whipped topping. And what makes this extraordinary is this is made from the liquid in a can of chickpeas. So if you haven't heard of this process before, it's pretty amazing. It was discovered fairly recently by a chef who realized that the water and the liquid and in a can of beans, particularly chickpeas, but it actually works with other beans, has a protein structure similar to egg whites. And so it behaves similarly when you beat it. So just to give you the effect and show you what this looks like, and it happens to be delicious too. There it is, and it's really yummy. And so when you've whipped it all up, it tastes somewhat like marshmallow fluff, for those of you who remember nostalgically. In creating this, you can put a few little good vegan sprinkles on, some fruit, and you have this elegant dessert. So I'm going to just walk you through real quickly. Here it is. I wanted you to see the finished product. I'm going to move that aside, and I'm going to show you this magic of aquafaba.
A lot of magic happening on Valentine's Day this year.
So what I suggest is, let's see, find that bowl. Here it is. So I use a bowl like this. And the reason I'm mentioning that is it has a little ring that I can hold on to because I use a hand mixer. If you have a stand mixer like a KitchenAid, that's a non-issue. But I happen to recently switched over to a hand mixer. So basically what I wanted to show you is, so here's the can of chickpeas. I like to use West Spray because there's no salt in it and they don't have kombu seaweed in it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, only with respect to this recipe, it doesn't add any additional flavors that you might not want. Let's see. Oh, wrong can of chickpeas. Hang on.
Maddie looks great, don't you, Joy?
There's always something in this kitchen. Anyway, so here's the can of chickpeas and the liquid is in there. So what I'm going to do is strain it using a strainer and let all the liquid go right into the bowl that I'm about to use. And of course, save the chickpeas. And to make my life simpler, I have a little funnel. And I'm just going to put those chickpeas right back in.
That's a fun tool.
It is. I use it a lot, actually. Okay, so the next ingredient, you're just going to see how remarkably simple this is. Next ingredient is cream of tartar. This is
really good Valentine.
There's cream of tartar. You see it in the spice section. It's sort of a binding and thickening agent. So I'm going to use anywhere between a quarter and a half teaspoonful. So this is closer to a half because I use the entire can of liquid. And so this beating is very similar to beating egg whites. Just get the mixer here. And so it doesn't take a very long time, but it takes a little time. So what I'm going to do is show you as close as possible the process of what it looks like. So here it is. If you can see this, I don't know if you can.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just
You're good, Maddie.
okay. So I want to show you in the various stages what happens. I'm going to beat it. It's going to form peaks. But since it takes a couple of minutes, I think Peter is going to put us on a split screen so you can watch it happen, but Joy and Bart can talk to you and maybe even talk through some of it or more information about these awesome desserts. So I'm going to
All
start
right.
beating it so you could see.
Oops.
Magic in the kitchen.
I think she's muted currently for the loud noise.
So it's amazing to see chickpea water. And again, when we talk about sustainability, it's using every part of the garden. It's using every part of the produce that we got. I know Bart loves to make stocks out of saving scraps. I know we talked about that a little bit last week.
Nothing wasted. You can see Maddie, that looks great. We'd love to have you bring some of it over to go with our ice cream later. We'll figure that out someday.
It's too bad it's not smell-o-vision or
Right.
taste-o-vision. So it's really amazing what magic creates in the kitchen. I don't see Maddie on my screen, but I'm assuming that it's starting to get white and it's starting to make peaks. I think it's
It's almost-
amazing as a plant-based eater to have something white and creamy like that. And we're also going to be making a whipped cream later as well. But whipped cream is a nice thing to have. Oh, I forgot, I also bought a different whipped cream.
There's so much accoutrement, as we mentioned before, work with what you've got. There's a lot about sustainability with this type of cooking. What we do with the scraps, as Joy mentioned, that's vegetable scraps. We make broth with it, cook it off. I actually use a pasta pot for that. And then it make 3 or 4 quarts of broth. We store it, and that becomes our basic cooking modem for non-oil cooking. A lot of people are kind of oil-free these days. I don't know if you're keeping up what we have to call the trends in all kinds of eating. And let's face it, more and more people are becoming vegetarian-based. They're hearing a lot about it. They're hearing about the health and how it helps you stay healthy. In the world of pandemics, it doesn't hurt, believe me, to have a good diet and feel balanced about that. One of us is going to be 84 in May. I can't believe I'm saying that, but I think it's me. And I've been eating this way for over 30 years now. And obviously I'm a great believer. And I like to think of myself as being somewhat of the poster boy of this. But guess what? I couldn't have done it without the lady next door to me. Hi,
Next
Joy.
door. Let's see where Maddie's at.
So Maddie, you're gonna have to unmute. I can't unmute you. unfortunately, sorry.
Well, Maddie's making magic. We're gonna be making magic shell when she comes back.
I'm back and
Oh, there she is. How'd it go?
well, this is the end result so far. So I turned it from that slimy looking liquid to this beautiful whipped texture with the cream of tartar only in it. I'm now going to add a little bit of vanilla for flavoring. I mean, you can get creative. You could put some cinnamon in, you could put some peppermint in, which I probably would be biased to. You could add a little chili powder if you want to go crazy and you like a little spice. But this is where it's going to turn into a thicker whipped topping. So this is powdered sugar. And I know Joy and Bart have a lot to tell you about powdered sugar, but I'm going to do the process and let them tell you about it when we're all done. So the recipe calls for a half cup to a cup. This is where you get to be intuitive based on what you like. If you like a really sweet whipped topping, I mean, this is Valentine's, be decadent and go for it. If you like less sweet and just, you know, subtleness to it and maybe more of the spice, be creative and make it your own. So I'm going to use, this is probably about the equivalent of 3/4 of a cup. So just somewhere in between. What I would suggest, and this is something I wanted you to see, is take your beater and just whip it around first, because if you put the beater on right away, you're going to be in a cloud of powdered sugar, which could be lovely or maybe
All
not.
right.
So here we go.
Yes.
Take off. Here we go. Isn't it amazing? It's magic.
Non-messy cooking.
So,
Excelente.
so here is the texture now, you can see. And the more powdered sugar you put in, I believe the stiffer it will be. And if you start with even a little bit more cream of tartar, it will make it even stiffer. So if that's the desired effect, go for it, play with it. The nice thing is it's not egg whites. So it, even though it behaves somewhat like egg whites, not entirely. So you don't have the perishability and potential pathogens that might come from egg whites that sit perhaps a little too long. It even breaks down and you can re-whip it. That's not necessarily true with egg whites. So it is kind of magical in its own way, and it is really delicious. And as I say, if you play with the flavors, you could end up with something that's somewhat like marshmallow fluff, if you're into that. And I think that sounds pretty good. So I've given you the finished product so you could see ahead of time. And here it is. And now I'm sitting at home with so much aquafaba, I have to drive over to Joy and Bart so they could give me ice cream and I can give them.
Yay.
That's a good
Yeah.
swap. I like it.
I know, me too. So that's it. It's quick. It's really so quick and easy. What I suggest is if it's something that you're thinking of doing in advance of the recipe, bake up a few Hana yams and then you have it. And literally it's these, you could see you just throw these ingredients right in and pre-soak the dates. Those are the things you do in advance. And then literally you see it takes 10 minutes to throw it all together. And I have given this dessert to people who are hardcore carnivores and they love it. So thank you for watching this. And I hope you try it and enjoy it.
Thank you, Maddie.
Thank you, Maddie. We
Come
always,
on over.
yeah, we always learn so much from you.
Oh,
Try
well,
to get some here. Okay. Well, we got another exciting part of today's recipes to do now.
So thank you again, Maddie. It's so much fun and so great to watch Maddie teach.
We're zooming in now. Here we come.
And don't you wish we could hand stuff through the phone
That'll be fun.
someday?
yes.
So,
Okay.
our next dessert is going to be, or our next component, because we've all made you a lot of components. And like Maddie said, mix and match, add vanilla to your whipped cream. I actually forgot to add vanilla to the pumpkin ice cream, but that is also wonderful. I'm gonna also let Bart taste it because now it
oh,
has
thank you. I
melted.
get a reward. Look at that.
Melted to perfection.
Mm.
So what's next is, as we follow along, we're going to be using something out of both Maddie and my friend Fran Costigan. She is Vegan Chocolate is the name of her book, and she has created so many delectable desserts. We call her the queen of vegan desserts. And we are going to be making from her today another bit of kitchen magic is her vegan hard shell chocolate. So now if you want to follow along, you'll need 7 ounces of finely chopped chocolate. And again, do you have a chocolate bar in your refrigerator that you want to use up? Can you see this is finely chopped? It's either going to use finely chopped
Like
chocolate.
little nibs.
You can either use finely chopped chocolate or we're going to use chips. So we have 7 ounces of chips here. We're going to put it in our makeshift double boiler. And again, the percentage chocolate we want to use is anywhere from 68 to 70%. You know that the higher the number, the less sweet the chocolate. So we're going to put the 7 ounces of chips in this bowl.
Nicely done.
And again, one of the other things is not all chocolate is created equal. There is a lot of issues about child labor and chocolate making. So
Sustainability, as we call it.
exactly, Bart, tell them about the sustainability, the ethically sourced chocolate and how to
Oh,
find
yeah.
out.
A lot of that.
Joy and Bart, I'm just showing Fran's book so everyone can see.
Okay.
Okay,
Oh,
Ally.
you're showing? Okay, I got it too.
Well,
I'm like
lots of
trying to be
chocolate
the
hanging
Vanna.
out today.
Oh, she's really special. Okay, so that's great because that book really teaches so much. So we have the hard shell. So ethically sourced chocolate, what we've asked is there's a website called foodempowermentproject.org. And if you get online, you'll be able to see, and Peter, you could put that in the chat if you'd be so kind, so that people could see which chocolates are sustainably sourced.
Wow.
We're using organic chocolate here. We melted it on a double boiler. Can you see that? So
Hey, Peter, can you zoom us in on the big screen here? We're in a tiny little screen right now.
so we've got the chocolate here. And again, 60, I think I used 70% chocolate. And,
Let's tell the people about double boiling, honey.
oh, go for it.
You know, there's a
Bart.
lot of different ways to double boil. Joy's got a wonderful pot that we love using. And what it really means is you put a pot of this nature, that's already structured for it, a little bit of water, take a bowl of this size, drop it in here, and the bottom does not, I've got a good grip, honey. The bottom does not touch the water. As it cooks off and boils, it starts melting the chocolate. You don't let it boil too much, otherwise it'll change the nature of the chocolate. And it'll do something they call seize the chocolate, which means it basically gets hard. And you have to add oil to it to break it down, but we don't want to do that. We love the pot Joy's working with right there because you can control the temperature and how you're working with it. Double boiler. We use it for our oatmeal in the mornings. We use it for leftover soup. We heat up things in it. It's an amazing contraption.
So as this is melting down, we're going to be add coconut oil, 2 tablespoons,
I got it.
and vanilla extract. So that is all going to melt down. Slowly you'll be stirring this in as the oil goes in and everything. So you stir that in,
Right.
and voila, with the magic of television, we have that all melted down for you.
Nice and smooth. And
Again, there's another kitchen hack we'd like to tell you. In case you don't want to use the double boiler, I know Maddie said we don't like to use the microwave, but if you put your chocolate in the microwave for 20-second intervals, you'll also get a nice liquidy chocolate meltdown. Because this is actually, and if you wanted to turn this into chocolate sauce and want to make a banana split or a hot fudge sundae, they both sound good, don't they?
yeah,
You just add some non-dairy milk in here, some oat milk, some coconut milk, and you stir in that, and this becomes a thick, rich, decadent
ready for dipping.
chocolate,
Right?
ready for like a hot fudge sundae.
Getting goosebumps.
All right, but this is the hard shell. So what it is, I have frozen some bananas. So here's the hard
Want me to hold
shell.
that for you, Joy?
Yeah, that would be great. And again, it's more magic. Maddie made magic. Vegan food makes magic. So we're gonna dip this in here. And you notice I'm only dipping it part way. And again, you could put anything else that's frozen.
Look at that.
And look at that, how beautiful that is. We put them on little sticks that I had in the house that were for, I think, for barbecuing or small
Making a lot of
sachets.
people hungry with this, Joy.
And look how gorgeous that is. And that'll harden. We're gonna put that back in the freezer so that we can have it tomorrow.
Right.
And that hardens right away. You see it made a hard shell. It's all shiny. Ooh.
That with a little Prosecco or champagne would be a lovely Valentine's moment, believe me, for all of you out there. And you children, you can have bubbly water in the meantime.
And then what do we got here?
Oh, here come the marshmallows.
Anybody know what that is?
We know it's a marshmallow. And guess what? In our home here, we always have a closet, which is a secret spot where there are marshmallows hidden. And guess who finds them every time? Our grandchildren, the marshmallow king and queen of Connecticut. We love them. There's a company called Dandies that does the vegan version of this. Traditional marshmallow, by the way, when they have the inner part,
Gelatin.
how the gelatin part, thank you, Joy, is made from the hooves of animals and from the skin. And we don't go near that stuff, no way. This is clean and pure and delicious.
Wonderful. So this is now a marshmallow that I dipped. You know that that's gonna be.
Yay!
That's delicious. Actually, Maddie, I could put that right on your. That will be
Right.
delicious right on top of your sundae.
Oh, God. You're killing me.
You make it look easy, Joy. And it
It's
is.
so
Not fun at all.
easy, you guys. It's so much fun. So I have another banana here.
And what else are you going to put on if you like? You got some nuts
Oh,
and
right.
sprinkles. Don't forget
Watch.
the nuts and the sprinkles.
So Joel, it's your birthday.
We got a good buddy out there in California. Was
And look,
celebrating
I'm
his
putting
birthday.
it on the sprinkles.
Come on.
Oh my
Yes,
God, Maddie,
indeed.
look at that.
Yes, indeed. Beautiful.
Oh my God, it has sprinkles on it.
It's talking
And
to
it's
me.
delicious. You know what else I made? I actually made some, we're gonna just put these in
It's a bit of
here.
a juggling match. Want to keep them things upright, keep them upright so it doesn't. that's
Here's
already
another
frozen.
one. You know what I did? I took these pecans again. We were talking about storage nuts. I took these pecans, I put a little bit of maple syrup on them and I toasted them. Look how good that looks. Now I'm gonna dunk this in here and now look what I have.
A lot of choices.
So you can have real fun. You can make this a project. This is, I don't know, this is a Valentine's
Reminds me of
extravaganza.
carnival food. Remember when you were a kid and a grown up, you go to a carnival and they have all these things on sticks and stuff?
Yeah,
Quite a lot of fun.
so much
Good
fun.
memories. Good memories.
So that's that. We're gonna put that back.
Down. Kitchen, all the safety first in the kitchen. by the way.
Safety
Push that
first
to
is
the back.
right. We're gonna push
That's
that
hot.
to the
This
back.
one is still cooking off.
And that one's cooking off. And now we're gonna go to our last recipe.
We're
And
using our other favorite tool today, by the way. You love that thing, guys. Look at that. You can reach from here.
So
and
Bart
stir
can
things. Look
taste
at that.
things all the way around.
I'm going to get on the Pear Patrol, Joy.
Yes. So now we're gonna make salted caramelized pears. And
Let
again,
me have my
we
favorite
have,
spot.
we had Coke, we put the vanilla in there to flavor that chocolate. Now we're gonna make pears. So in the caramelization process, what do we usually use to caramelize things? We usually use butter fat. And what are we using instead?
Coconut milk.
We're using coconut milk instead. We're making a dairy-free caramel sauce. And actually, when I did a class last year with Bart, we did a class where we actually were with people. And we sent everybody home with a caramel sauce and a fudge sauce. And again, since we're homesteading now, we're seems to stay closer to home. We want to have things in our refrigerator so that if we want to have a hot fudge sundae, all we need to do is pull it out and have it, or a caramel
Yes,
sauce.
amen. Great.
So here we go with how we're going to make that. So Bart, I'm going to read everybody the ingredients of what you need.
I'm going to demonstrate with one pair. Joy,
Actually,
right?
And our preferred brand of coconut milk is Edward and Sons. Not because they're on the phone with us today, because we love their products and we love their integrity. And you know, there's been also controversy about coconut milk. And I think it's really, really important that we understand how our products are sourced. And we're really proud to know that our coconut milk has been sustainably sourced, and all their products, they spend a lot of time on making sure that it's
Means a lot to us.
the best, and it means so much to us because what we want to put in our bodies.
Can
So-
I go on pear prep now?
So
Jamie?
the coconut milk is the star of this recipe. And then I think later, maybe when we start to chat, Edward and Sons has many different types of coconut milk. And I'd like you to understand all the different types. I've actually used so much with you in the past 2 weeks. We used one last week when we made the biscuit.
Right,
We use that as the butterfat. So it's very exciting to be able to use a very high quality product. Also, we're going to be making a salted caramel. So as you know, not all of people want to use salt. So if you want to leave the salt out of this recipe, you can. Otherwise, I know our grandchildren love salt and they love the special flake salt. So please feel free to use. And again, like Maddie said, if you want it salty, add more salt. If you want it less salty, I only used 2 pinches and it was quite delicious. It brought out all the flavors. But again, use your inner chef if you want things sweeter or you want things to have a different flavor. You want your whipped cream to be flavored. Feel free to use your own inner chef and figure that out. So Bart is now going to be prepping. I'm going to tell you all what to pull
I'm
out
the
now.
doctor, I've got my paring knife ready.
A paring knife for a
I
pear.
cut off the stem of this beautiful pear. And they cut off a little bit at the base to give me a flat surface, because at this point,
Can you see him?
and you
Yeah.
can do this at home, I'm doing a nice scraping job to clean her up like that.
So you want your pears washed, and you always wash them, even if you're going to peel them. Washed, cored, peeled.
And there's a great instrument, by the way. We use it a lot when I peel mangoes, other fruits. It works beautifully, as you can see. And right now, I'm creating scraps that I'm going to wind up putting in my compost after the session today. What do you think about composting, Joy? Does that work into this kind of
Oh my God,
situation?
composting is so important, you know, to make the soil more fertile. We grow a lot of fruits and
Right.
vegetables. So, and composting has changed my life. I find it.
Love it, love it. Here's the other part.
And look at how many things that we can put in compost from our own cooking.
There's a tool on the market which actually bores a hole straight down in pears and apples. But right now, I'm going to use the knife again to cut this into slices. Once, twice. Here we go. I'm going to take the seeds out, cut some more out of it at the
So you're
same
making
time.
about, so everybody's got 4 pears, a half a cup of granulated vegan sugar, a half a cup of full fat coconut milk, 2 pinches of sea salt. And I also want to use grated ginger in this.
Yay.
And also because it's Valentine, if you wanted to use cranberries, I have cranberries here. You have cranberries here. I also have, I tried to get a pomegranate and I couldn't, but I have raspberries that were
Raspberries.
frozen. So please feel free. And also I have a beet. And isn't this funny? This beet, although old, it looks like the shape
Shape of a
of
pear.
a pear. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this beet juice into the pears to make it red for Valentine's Day, just because it's fun. So Bart also has a microplane and a
Right.
small grater. I thought this was so
Let me
cute,
use that
but
little grater, Joy.
I think this is much easier to do.
Right.
So look, we have the pears. We're gonna have Bart dredge it into
The
the sugar. So when I say dredge it, you know that just means on each side, cover the pear with the grated sugar.
Here we
I mean,
go.
the grated sugar with
Oh,
the
boy.
granulated sugar.
Mhm.
So he's gonna put all
Make
of
sure to
that.
cut up so the folks can see
together.
what I'm doing, Joy. I can do it right up here.
Yep.
I'm doing it in what we call a thankful dish. We love that dish. We feel thankful every day that we can use this kind of food in our lives. Have this love fest around food. How you like that, Joy? Am I spreading pretty good?
Yes, beautifully.
I'm a good spreader, by the way.
Okay, so now he's gonna put them right into the saute pan.
Here we go. Yeah,
He's
ready
gonna
for
put
this?
them all in the saute pan with the flat side down. I'm gonna actually put it on some heat over here. Voila. Get the
It doesn't have to be a fancy cut, by the way. This is pretty much what we do when we cut it. We refine it.
And now we're gonna put it on medium heat. And what you're gonna see too is that the sugar is gonna start to crystallize. It's gonna start to bubble a little bit. And
You want to put some more of that in there?
no,
Add
what
a
I'm
little
gonna
bit
do,
The coconut milk.
that is exactly
Ah.
what we're gonna do next.
What do you call teamwork, folks? I hope you can tell that.
But first, we're gonna wait until this gets a little more
Can I show with
bubbly.
my fancy spoon in the meantime, Joy? Wanna get
Actually,
over
why
there?
don't you show them how to chop ginger?
Well, there we go, the ginger.
Because we're gonna put ginger in this, and again,
There's a lot of
I
techniques.
give
for
credit to
cleaning up
this
ginger.
book. This is called the Vegetarian Flavor Bible. Bart and I are blessed to know Karen and Andrew.
Mhm.
And Karen wrote this book.
Amazing book.
And it also gives you, this is a fun way to like look up pears and see what it pairs with, or this is a fabulous resource book. It's like people use it in culinary schools and everything. And also, if you wanted to put some cranberries in here for color for the red, you could throw in some cranberries. You can hear now that it's starting to caramelize a little bit. And Bart is actually,
And Mr. Hands over here is cleaning the ginger with a spoon, by the way. You got that skin off. Comes off quite readily. We actually did a little bit just before the session, and that's what a clean ginger looks like. And now I can take that, take this cute, isn't that amazing? It's with that little guy here. I can take that and grind some of that ginger out. And that's going to go in the recipe as well, right, Joy?
yes,
There it
So,
is, clean and beautiful. Want a
you
little
can
bit
put
more?
in, again, it depends on how gingery you want it. But I think a tablespoon is good for this recipe. We grated about a teaspoon. And again, when you use the microplane, you see how
Get even a deeper.
cool this
a deeper cut.
microplane is, that it actually attaches to your cutting board so that it doesn't slip and you don't grate your hand.
Another way to grate the ginger, by the way.
And it has a flat part so it holds on tight. And then the ginger grates so you don't have any of like the stringiness, and you can have a really wonderful. So what I'm gonna do now,
I'm keeping an eye on that beautiful flame and those pears that cook it up.
look how
nicely.
beautiful. Can you see this? I'm gonna take this ginger actually, and I'm gonna
Drop it right in.
drop it right into the pears.
You ready for the milk yet?
And now that it's bubbling, usually I wait till it's a little browner. I don't know if you can see, but it's bubbling a little bit. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to add the coconut milk.
Right.
Usually I will use a whisk. And oh, you can smell all the flavors, and as the juices of the pears release, it's amazing. Okay, so we're gonna put in half a cup really, but I'm only using one pear, so I'm using less. This is now going to start to bubble up, and it is now going to make a beautiful, beautiful caramel sauce. Oop. So voila, there we go.
Lovely color. You can
They're
see it's-
beautiful, they stay together. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to plate.
Oh, man.
So I'm gonna take these caramelized pears and put it around the ice cream.
Beautiful.
I don't know, can you see what I'm doing?
I'm gonna lift it right up to the camera, Joy.
Nobody's talking.
We can see.
Okay, great, thank you. So we put the pears on top of that.
Top of the ice cream.
Woo, this is beautiful. Okay. For fear
And
that-
now we're gonna finish it off.
Now what I'm gonna do,
Some
where's
of your
my
cream.
fudge sauce? Woo! I'm taking the fudge sauce.
Do a little drop of that. Right.
Oh my,
Beautifully
and
done.
look at this. Can you see this? Look.
It's worth it, folks.
Oh my God.
Look at that. Valentine's calling out.
So now,
Every day should be a celebration, by the way. I'm a great believer that every day should be treated like a holiday.
so this is the hard shell. And again, I told you if you want to, we could thin this out. And
It's gonna harden
it's
up.
gonna
because-
harden right
You know, like
there.
when you eat an ice cream pop with the shell around it, that's what happens here. You got it, honey?
Yeah, how
Okay.
beautiful, right? I'm gonna also, because I think it needs another
Finish. Nice finish.
crunch. So I'm gonna put a little bit of my seeds, my pecans,
Pecans. We've been talking about that.
caramel.
Is it caramel? Is it caramel? Is it tomato? Is it tomato?
Oh, look at that.
Will you save me
Wait,
some, please?
and
Joy?
now we made some whipped cream, and Allison actually maybe could expand upon this. That we made whipped cream with the whipping cream from Edwards and Sons. I'm gonna have it over here. We figured you could use the aquafaba.
You could mix and match, obviously, with all of this stuff.
And then you have this, it's beautiful. And then,
Whoa, here comes the piece de resistance. Nicely done, Joy.
now if I have,
Come on.
here we go.
Oh,
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday, my
Joel.
friend Joel in California. That's for you, Joel. Joy made the first one for you. I hope I get second.
Thank you very much.
Look how beautiful.
I really wish I could have that right now.
I really wish I could put it right through.
A day to
Also, I want
celebrate.
to just tell you that as I was preparing everything, I actually had my morning coffee, my organic coffee, and I took some of the ice cream and put it in, some of the Edward and Sons whipped cream and put it in, and it was a pumpkin maca maca latte. It was amazing. It was
I
amazing.
told Joy, watch out, Starbucks is gonna get jealous. She made the best pumpkin spice coffee you'd ever want.
Anyway, thank you all for joining us today. We so love being with you.
We hope you enjoyed working with us. A lot of different elements here, but as we often say, trust your inner chef, use what's available, and there's no such thing as a mistake. It's all about having fun in the kitchen.
We wish everybody a sweet Valentine's Day, Chinese New Year, and every other celebration. And remember, spread the vegan love and spread it big.
Here and now,
From
and
our
around the world.
kitchen to yours,
kitchen.
Emma Sam. Emma, look what I made for you today.
Look, we could only send it through the Zoom.
Emma, look, I made you
Someday
chocolate.
it'll be
This
through
is
Zoom.
Emma's favorite.
Oh, it is.
Hi, cousins.
Yes.
Hi,
Look at that.
cousins.
Oh,
You're awesome.
Look at them, they're all popping in from everywhere. Here's the
Hi,
Coogan.
Cougans.
Yeah.
Here, you want a bite?
That looks so good. That looks so good.
Oh, you got
And
it.
then we put sprinkles on it and chopped nuts on it. And
Sprinkles.
actually, we're gonna
Emma's
do one thing
favorite.
because it's we're gonna put
Raspberry.
we're gonna put one raspberry on here.
This girl, this one has a touch. doesn't she? That's fantastic.
Did you guys cook?
We made peaches.
Oh, good. And you put that on top of waffles, pancakes, chia puddings,
Yeah.
whatever. You can make so many things. French toast.
Pulling straight right now.
Great, great.
And bring it over my house. We're so proud of you guys. We're so proud of all these little eaters.
Sounds like we have a lot of foodies out there, Joy.
And because Emma, it makes when we work on our eating so young. Oh, look at
look at
Reese.
that.
Everybody's in the kitchen. The
Oh,
Cougans
my
are
God.
cooking. Cooking with the Cougans.
Well, we may have time for some questions, Joy. I know we sound like
Yeah, we have a few minutes left. If there's any
the world
questions.
of Zoom. There's Peter again.
Oh, Peter, that's how we met Peter. To Colin.
Thank you. Yeah, Colin turned us
Hi,
on to
Pete.
your phone.
Congratulations, Pete.
Oh, thank you.
Stay tuned.
Peter has a new baby. That's why we're gonna save the world for Roman, the new baby.
Right. And you have it too. Tune in again at noon.
And
We're
you
gonna-
know what? It takes a village. We just really want to thank it, everybody from the bottom of our hearts this Valentine's Day and every day. Without each and every one of you, Bart and I can't do what we do and what we love to do. And we really appreciate being able to feed all of you and your families, which means more to us than you
Yeah.
can imagine.
And if there are any good dishwashers in the crowd, come on over, okay?
Happy Valentine's Day.
Thanks, guys.
lovebirds.
Happy
Valentine's Day.
Happy
Happy
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. We love you all.
Bon
Happy
appetito.
Valentine's
Happy
Day,
Love
Bart and
Thank you.
Joy.
To yours with love.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You guys are the best.
So I'm eating.
Bye, Emma Sam. I love you.
It's a wrap.
Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, guys.
Bye, Shelby.
It's a wrap.
Bye,
Thank you.
all.
Wow.
Bye, love you.
Wow.
Wow.
Bye, guys.